Footers remain one of the most abused site-wide sections of websites. This is probably because footer links still work, at least for some websites, despite Google saying that this strategy is not acceptable and it doesn't work. Look no further than Amazon to see the risky use of keyword-rich footer links. The footer is often the last section visitors check if they are unable to find the information they needed anywhere else on the page. And frequently, they won't check the footer at all. Footers are usually implemented as boilerplate text and will send less link authority to the linked to pages. Yahoo even stated that they may devalue footer links. And I quote, "The irrelevant links at the bottom of a page, which will not be as valuable for a user, don't add to the quality of the user experience, so we don't account for those in our ranking." Google sends contradictory signals to webmasters by stating that site-wide links are outside their content quality guidelines, but at the same time, not taking action against those who abuse such links. Since footers are at the very bottom of web pages, the CTR on footer links is pretty low. However, footers can be great for user experience, especially fat footers, and they may be a pretty useful internal linking tool as well. Let's discuss some ideas for improvement. Don't repeat the primary navigation in the footer. If some links are listed in the primary navigation menu, you don't need to repeat them in the footer. The most important links for users should be somewhere in the masthead. Keep the footer for relevant but less important links. Group links logically. If you want to reduce the number of the links in the footer, consider consolidating multiple URLs in a single page. If space is a concern, you can implement JavaScript dropdowns like this one. Instead of creating unique URLs for each topic in the section Your Orders, create just one main URL for your orders and include the content of all sections on that page. Take a look at how Staples and YouTube implemented this. Both are very good examples of useful footers. The corporate info pop-up menu links to relevant pages, but it takes up less visual space. Also, the links in the pop-up menu are open for crawling, as you can see in the cached version of the page. On YouTube, the country listing is made available with Ajax only when the country selector is clicked. Imagine if this list was available in plain HTML on every single page of the website. However, in this case, the country links are not available to crawlers. Walmart uses expand and collapse links to give users more options, but search engines don't have access to subcategory links. On their website, a click on the small plus signs will reveal several subcategories. While the top category links such as electronics, bikes, and toys are crawlable, their corresponding subcategories like laptops, Apple iPads, tablets, and TVs are not. Remove useless links. Track clicks on footer links either with URL parameters or using click tracking tools such as Crazy Egg. Are you helping users with those links, or do you want to have an optimized footer just for search engines? If you find that people don't click on some of your optimized links, then don't link them from the footer. On the other hand, if a link in the footer gets a high number of clicks, consider placing it in a more prominent location on the page. Test having versus removing links in the footer and measure how each affects conversion rates, SEO, or usability. Don't abuse footers. We know for a fact that search engines don't like external site-wide footer backlinks. Also, we know that search engines treat links in boilerplate sections differently from contextual links, where the former don't pass as much link authority. Actually, footer links are not inherently bad. In fact, it may not be the links that cause problems, but the general abuse of footers. Footers seem to be one of the preferred sections for over-optimization. Take a look at this screenshot, for example. the extensive use of women's and men's in these anchors is totally unnecessary. If you stuff exact anchor text keywords in the footer just because doing so still works, mind the penguin penalty that may come with this tactic. That's right, penguin is not only about external backlinks, but about internal links as well. For more information about this, watch the videos linked from this slide. Site-wide links with exact anchor text like in this example will create problems. The larger the website, the higher the chances of being filtered by Panda or by Penguin. Another trick that you must avoid is placing SEO content far below the footer, well below the normal view area. Even if Google won't be able to penalize you algorithmically if you do this page certainly won't pass a manual review. In this figure, you can see how the SEO content starts after the real footer ends, which is a foolish attempt to trick users and search engines. I wonder whether that's why this website had a gray toolbar PageRank in the past. If you need to provide users more links in the footer, tab navigation is another option, as it will allow you to display more links. Take a look at this example. Tab navigation can be further optimized by adding even more text in the footer. Take a look at how 1-800-CONTACTS does this. Each link on the left side triggers a new tab. For example, when you click on the Our Commitment link, a new tab is loaded. This is good content for a footer. Adding a few internal contextual text links would bring even more SEO value to this section. E-commerce websites can make footers more appealing to search engines by dynamically updating the content and the links in footers to be relevant to each section of the website and even to each page. This approach works best when implemented with tab navigation that allows at least 150 words of content to be displayed in the footer. Consider the same example from 1-800-CONTACTS. They could add a new tab to the page where the footer is displayed, featuring a relevant excerpt from a recent blog post. For example, on the Avera brand page, the new tab name could be something like Avera News, and the blog post excerpt would contain the brand name and eventually one or two links to Avera products. The footer on the Biomedics brand page would be related to Biomedics products and so on. Just as properly related linking is useful for users, adding page-specific links in the footer is also good for usability, as it customizes the shopping experience to meet users' expectations. You can even customize the links in the tab navigation. For example, on a product detail page for Avera lenses, you can dynamically change the link from contact lens brands to Avera contact lenses and list only products manufactured by Avera. These footers will not only help users by presenting content relevant to the page they are on, but it will also help with varying the internal anchor text, thus reducing the occurrences of exact match anchor text and preventing the footer from generating site-wide links. Currently, e-commerce websites don't use this concept. During the past 20 years, footers, as compared to other areas of a page, have not evolved into something more helpful for users. Maybe you can start changing that. Footers can also be used as a debugging, development, or customer support feature. Tagging footers with unique text containing the year and month the page was last generated or updated will allow some basic crawl debugging a month or two later with the site operator.